Hello everybody, welcome back to Mastering Conversational Chemistry. My name is Jose Hernandez, and today I want to talk about the 3 styles of learning that most of us have that are going to be in our audiences when we speak to them. So we tend to have our audio learners, we tend to have our visual learners, and we have our kinesthetic learners. All right, so how do we approach each one, or can we mix it up? We don't want to just drill one style of learning to where the other people feel left out. We want to make sure that we're reaching as many people in our crowd with our message so that they get a better understanding and our points get across better. So we want to mix it up a little bit. As far as our audio learners, this is me. I was the one in college that would ask the professor if I could bring in a tape recorder to record his messages. Now my problem is I can't write. My handwriting is horrible. My wife tells me all the time she doesn't even let me write stuff. She tends to write it for me because I can't even read my own handwriting, to be honest with you. And if I'm trying to write what the professor is doing his lecture about, I'm trying to go so fast to keep up with him that my handwriting gets even worse. Hard to imagine, but it's true. And then I'm reading my notes and I have no clue what I just wrote because it looks like chicken scratch. It's literally horrible. Then I'll catch myself if I slow down. I was writing what he said and missing what he's saying. So I wasn't getting the entire lecture. So as I started realizing I just need to hear it, when I was listening to the professor give his lectures, I'd actually find myself repeating in my mind what he was saying. So I was kind of just drilling it in a little bit harder. Then I would listen to my tape recorders later on and I was able to understand it better because I realized I am an audio learner. We all have different styles of learning. So for your audio learners, make your presentation to where change your tones, change the elevations of your tone, higher, lower, your speed as far as you speak. When you're speaking, make it go faster, slower, and it keeps your audio learners having to keep up with what you're saying and to change so they're focusing more on you. This is a good way to make your presentation great for your audio learners because they want to keep up with what you're doing and the change. And we tend to learn that way. So if we're constantly focusing on how you're saying what you're saying, we're focusing on you anyways. And that's where you want the attention to be on you for your presentation for your audio learners. All right, guys, so keep that in mind when you're speaking to part of your audience that some of them are going to be audio learners. The second one are our visual learners. These are the people that want to see things. They want to see it in front of them, physically be able to actually see with their eyes because that's how their brains connect. So don't be afraid to add pictures and videos into your presentations. It doesn't matter how big or small your crowd is, somebody in there might be a visual learner. So when you throw pictures and videos, it takes their attention away from hearing you to seeing something now. Now again, the attention is back on your presentation and what you're talking about because now they have something to see. They don't just want to see words on a PowerPoint presentation. Give them something visual to keep an eye on and you're gonna have their attention a little bit better, all right? The third group is the kinesthetic group, and these are the people that want hands-on. So whenever you have the opportunity to do your presentations, try to see if you can incorporate an activity to get people's actions and being interactive. If you want to mix some of them, add a question in your presentation, but not a rhetorical question. This is going to be a question that people actually have to answer, and you're talking to the people in your audience. This is going to get everyone actually focusing on that person because they want to see what they're going to say. We're nosy, if we're honest. We're nosy, and we want to see what other people have to say. So make your presentation interactive. Make group activities to where people have to work together. And this is gonna get that kinesthetic, is gonna get people moving. They're not sitting in the same position with our backs slumped down and everything. It gets people moving. And the more movement you can get out of them, the more attention they'll be focusing on why they're moving. These are your kinesthetic learners, right? And then the truth is that everyone can learn from each style. We don't all just have one way of learning and that's it. We are gonna learn a little bit from each style. So what you wanna be able to do is incorporate all 3 into your presentations. This is gonna get the most out of each group that has a style of learning to focus on you at some point throughout your presentation, which is what you want. You're gonna lose some on some aspect and gain some on the others, but overall, you're hitting all 3, so it keeps engaged your audience with you and what you're saying in your presentation is on for the information so they can keep up with you. So for your audio learners, make sure you're giving something to where they can hear it differently, just to where it makes them listen to you more attentively because they wanna know what you're talking about. For your visual learners, give them something to see. They want to be able to see pictures and videos to keep your attention. And for your kinesthetic learners, give them something to do. Make them move. This is what they want. And at that point, you're giving a little bit of something to everybody to where everybody can take a little bit in at a time. All right? Nobody's ever going to grab every single thing you say, but the more you can do to make it interactive and include different styles of learning for your audience members, the more attention you're going to have and the more feedback you're going to get. All right, guys, so those are the way you can interact 3 styles of learning into your presentations and keep people's attention on you longer than letting them pull out their cell phones and get on it to see what's on social media. All right, guys, those are your 3 tips for today. Tell me what you think. Do me a favor, like the video, comment on it, share it, tell your friends about it. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.